very much, Colegio de San Antonio de Padua Performing Arts. And now please welcome back our host and moderator, OJ Simafranca.
Mayong hapon, karatong tanan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all our performers from Danao City a big, big round of applause. Such wonderful talent. And once again, welcome to our first ever Danao City Tourism Summit. Danao City, here and now. We had a very wonderful and successful first segment talking about Danao City tourism direction and plans. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we proceed to the next segment with the theme Trends in Tourism. Our first speaker will talk about walking down memory lane, Danao City's cultural walk. Please welcome Representative, Danao City Heritage Society, Mr. Erickson Batulan. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Maayong hapon sa tanan. Naapa mo diha. Maayong hapon sa tanan. Kutob sa naabot sa Sibia. Now, my talk is about actually historical tourism. Now, let me start with you with a quote. Now this quote is, it is a tragic thing to realize that many of us are like strangers in our hometown. But what is more tragic is when strangers would know about our place better than we are. Now, way back 1988, a classmate of mine in college said to me, basahan ako sa Freeman, kato di ay si Mayor Tadius Durano, mao di ito'y nagpagama di ay ana, nag-una pagpagamaan ng mga sikad-sikad sa inyong lugar. Now, my friend of mine came from Palumpon Leyte. Siya, mo ba? Karon pa ko sa ana. Di man nimo, akong nabasahan sa Freeman. Nya, kana bang pantalan diha ba sa Danao anhamang kumuagi padong sa amo inigdayon og bakasyon hinimo din as mga Spaniards mao ba karon pa ko that conversation of ours posed a challenge to me, and that is from that time onward I said to myself, I have to do research about my place. Now, the topic is actually walking down memory lane. Now, it is actually a city walk tour, and that is being initiated by our city government, developed and promoted. Now this is actually a traveling way back in time. That is, along the way, you can see and learn for yourselves Danao's historical sites, structures, and artifacts. Now this city walk tour, this is actually the road of the city walk tour. To establish an historical atmosphere during the tour, the city walk tour should partially take the route where the railway track of long time ago was in place on the streets of Danao. Now, the first stop in doing this tour is the port of Danao. Now, the Port of Danao was actually constructed during the Spanish period, circa 1895. Now, it was being hit by a typhoon and it became the first city hall of Danao. It is still existing. Next, ma'am. And then we have this historical bell. It is now in place. Makita na to, it is now in place. Naagid atubangan sa City Hall. Now, this is a historical bell because this was being used when the city is being declared as, our hometown is being declared as a chartered city. Now, the ring of this bell signifies the start of our hometown as a new city. So, imo ni siya makita ron in front of our old City Hall building. Next. The next stop is actually a site. No? Ang naa diha is the city terminal. But in the olden times, during the American period, this place was once the public market of Danao. Now, this public market was the center of the business activity in Danao during the American period. It was being constructed during the administration of Mr. Enriquez, municipal president at that time, which is equivalent to mayor of today. Then it was being expanded by Manangati to cater more business to operate. Now, it was being replaced of today's city terminal. Next is the Kambyuhan Rotunda. Now, the Kambyuhan Rotunda is, before, it was somewhat like a reminder of the past. Because during this time, Kambyuhan was the center also of activity, business activity in Danao. Because it is where the two railways tend to converge with each other. Mura ni siya gitawag kaniadto sa mga Spaniards o kanabang punto di encuentro, the meeting point or the meeting place. Anha sila mag-abot ang ilang pananaw o ilang pagbati. Now, this is very historical in the sense that anhi dinhi musakay, manaog, ikarga, idiskarga ang mga goods gikan sa Cebu City by using train. So, the Danao City, or Danao Cebu Railway, anha siya nagsugod, padung ngadto sa Luok, hantod gyud sa Cebu City. Whereas the Kamansi Railway, gikan sa bukid, sitio Kamansi o Barangay Tugunon today, anha sa diha, padung sa Rotunda, Kambyuhan, before going back to the, before proceeding to the port of Danao today. So, this is very historical, as I said a while ago, because the center of activity, the first center of activity in Danao happened in Kambyuhan. Karon magtanaw ka, muralaguwa. But during the early periods of American regime, it was the center of activity. Next stop is, it is now a site, but before, there stood the first municipal hall of Danao. It was built during the Spanish period. Kining municipal, circa mga 1840s. So the first seat of government happened on this site. Now, what is more historical of this place is that the building was also used as a provincial high school in 1949. Kanarong gitawag na tog CTU. Cebu o Danao Provincial High School, muna siya sa una. So, Danao Provincial High School or the CTU Danao today Nigamit sila diha for about 15 years. Right after that, it was being used as a police station, the lower level, because this building has two-story. The lower level is the police station, and the upper level was the city offices. But sadly, it was consumed by fire on the night of January 25, 2015. Nya, karon, it was being replaced by a museum of today, which is still under construction. So this site is so historical to us Danawanons. The next, please. Now this one, the commemorative monument of Danao. This monument is dedicated to the bravery of our Danawanon soldiers, the guerrilla during the Japanese period. No? So, we dedicate this commemorative monument to them. Then another one, the next stop is the Plaza Rizal, wherein you can see two pin markers there, one of which is a pin marker about Canyon, the old Spanish canon. So it was believed that it was being brought in Danao in the 1890s. Kana siya. Gigamit na during the Philippine Revolution. It was being used by the Danawan soldiers when they are against the Americans who are trying to occupy our hometown. Then another one is the Rizal Monument and its plaza. Now, the Rizal Monument was constructed during the American period. It was constructed during the administration of Mayor Benito Enriquez. But what is historical or significant about this structure was that it was being built by the young Danawanons at that period. The young Danawanons, they organized themselves and built this monument of Rizal. So it is an expression of the young Danawanons before, of their desire to have freedom and independence of our country. So that makes this a historical structure. Then the last one is the old convent. Now, the old convent was constructed and was completed in 1847. Ato na makita gyud sa iyang pultahan na ana dia 1847. It was constructed by a friar who was a parish priest in Danao during this period. Now, what is so significant and historical of this structure? This historical structure was that it served as a haven, headquarters of the Recollect friars in propagating Christianity religion in the Northeast. Ana sila magtagbo diha, ana sila mapahuway gikan sa siyudad sa Cebu. Unya kay maglakaw raman to sila kaniadto, ana to sila mapahuway nya ini kabuntag mudritso na sila ngadto sa north. Mao ni siya ang atong karaan nga kumbento. Now, during 1940s, it became classrooms of the Danao City Elementary School. Gihimo sa ni siyang classroom kay nagsugwak man ang enrollment sa Danao City Elementary School. So gigamit ni nga kumbento as classrooms for the primary grades. We have to preserve this heritage of ours. Now, the city tourism, our city tourism is now initiating and promoting our heritage. They are now taking good care of our heritage. They are paying attention by spending time and effort for this to become a tourist attraction. And I think they are on the right track because our heritage requires our attention, time, and effort. And letting our heritage get lost in this race of life is the greatest mistake we made. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Erickson Batulan. Our next speaker is the City Tourism Consultant of the City of Danao. Please welcome Mr. Joselito Boboy Costas to talk about the impact of Barangay Tourism Council to community-based tourism.
Mayong hapon na itong tanan. First, I'd like to acknowledge Attorney Lau, of course, Mr. Batulan, si Mr. Homer, our barangay captains, si Miss Chris, no, of CTU Tourism. So I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience. Yeah, my talk is about community-based tourism, no, which is actually one of the trends today, no, especially after the pandemic. Okay, question. Kinsa may mga tourism students dire? Pataas ko, no? Uy, when nagpataas, mahadlok mo pangotanon? Dili bita ko mangotana? Okay. What happens when local communities are not included in the planning and management of tourism? Unsa may mahitabo kung ang communities walay appeal sa pagplano? Yes, please. Yes, you can use the mic if you want to. Is there a microphone? There. Sige.
Good afternoon. So for me as a tourism student, if ang local communities are not included in the planning and management of tourism, of course, there's no unity. And it is very important yun nga appeal ang local communities into decision making inana para magkayusa bitaw there's walay mahitabo nga misunderstanding between the like for example the government and the local communities. Thank you.
Okay, good. Kinsa pailain? I need another thought. Sige na. Okay.
Hello. Okay, hello. Good evening, sir. I think that local communities are very important when it comes to planning and management of tourism. It's because locals are the owners of that specific destination.
Okay.
And tourism is like mo na sir nga sila gyud mao nga apil ang locals ana kay sila ang tagya. And it should like sa answer ni Divine kay unity is one of the most important thing in a specific.
Unsa man ning community participation, mao ni ang gigamit nato. No, this is what we use no in the Tausan ecotourism. So, kaning community participation is a development strategy nga immobilize ang mga katauhan for the protection of the environment. Because the fundamental assumption is that ang katauhan, dili sila babag or dili sila mga kaaway sa pag-protect sa kinayahan. In fact, the government recognizes people or the local communities as allies of environmental conservation. Next slide. So, unsa man ning community participation? It's the process of sharing decision-making by involving all stakeholders. The main objective is to ensure power redistribution para mabalanse, no? Gitanaaw sa community participation nga walay patas tanan, no? Facilitating equal and equitable distribution of both benefits and costs of tourism activities. So, communities must be empowered through awareness raising and transformation learning processes. So that's why gikinahanglan sa community participation kaning capacity building. Dili man ka makaparticipate, dili man makaparticipate ang barangay, dili makaparticipate ang katauhan kung walay capacity building. Next. So kani, ipakita lang nako ninyo, no, this is actually a model on community participation in tourism, no? So asa kaha din ha ang Danao City in terms of community participation. So ang levels of community participation is you have manipulation, where communities are actually used as public relations ragyod. Wala na ilain nga katuyuan. Therapy, it could be informing, or consultation, or it could be partnership, makikpartner ang gobyerno in projects, it could be delegated power, or citizen control, where katauhan maunay mga idea sa Osaka ecotourism.
Friends, let's give everyone a big round of applause.
Next slide. So mao ni siya ang upat ka model mga pamaagi unsaon pag-participate sa mga katauhan sa tourism. Pwede collegiate, pwede collaborative, consultative, or contractual, no? Kung maingon gani mo contractual, ang community ani gigamit lang sila as subjects for a respondents for research, no? Kung maingon mo consultative, ang mga katauhan gikonsulta sila kung unsay buhaton sa gobyerno. Kung maingon collaborative, ang mga members o ang gobyerno are working together. But kung maingon collegiate, community members work alongside other stakeholders as colleagues, but same ang treatment. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Wait. Balik ko do, balik. Balik pa. Okay. So in 2021, I think that was June, we started with tourism development, community-based tourism development in Danao, no? So we started with tourism development planning, where 8 priority, was that 8 or 6? 6 priority sites of Danao were identified. And this includes Tausan, no? Tausan Ecotourism Project. Next slide. And after the tourism development workshop, we went on with the heritage planning workshop, which the Tausan Ecotourism Project was prioritized, no, in terms of cultural mapping. Next slide. And then there was a community orientation on the ecotourism project of Tausan. So this is where this is when the ecotourism plans were, the community and the local government unit of Danao started a series of consultations on what ecotourism development would be in Tausan. Next slide. And then we did the cultural mapping for Tausan community. Next slide. And then together with Mr. Homer, my partner, we did the mangrove inventory and taxonomy training. This was conducted last year pa or 2021? 2022, no? So nag-tandem ni Mr. Homer. And then after the training, we did mind you, if you've been to Tausan today, you will notice nga ang mga local guides nato dito, mga maayo na kaayo, no? Because actually, we really screen them, no? Nagkuhan good me, we did an exam for them, no? Gi-exam na mo sila, and then katong mga dili pa kaayo ma-master gyud ang mangroves and other knowledge, sige siya og coach, no, ni Mr. Homer, especially Mr. Homer kay naamagid siya on site. Next slide. And then we did the product planning and development. So if you go to Tausan today, you will experience the package tour, no? Katong unsa may mga activities, no? So we made sure nga ang atong package dito, it will really give a memorable and meaningful experience to our visitors. At the same time, it will give them lessons, no? Mga basic facts on mangrove. Because in ecotourism, the number one consideration is not really more on leisure. It's more on the education. Second consideration is the leisure component. No? So next slide. And we did the tour guiding training. And then culinary training with hotel chefs. So we brought chefs from different hotels in Cebu to teach the communities in Tausan and other communities, no, in the city. Next slide. So this is from the Facebook page of Miss Ivy. So these are actually a sample, no, of what they're going to serve in Tausan when you go there. Next slide. And then lately, before we launched the product, we launched the tour, we conducted the last refresher course. When was this, Mr. Homer? You remember? 2 months ago? So we did a mangrove tour guiding training for the last time, no? Just to refresh, no, the minds of our guides. This is the infrastructure design. Next slide. And then the construction began, I think this was last year. Next slide. Next slide. And then last Sunday, together with Mayor Mix, we launched and inaugurate the Tausan Mangrove Forest Tours. So at this point, if I will ask you, what is the impact of community tourism in the participation of the barangay and the barangay council, no? Next slide. So I think it's more on partnership and, next slide, collaboration, no? So partnership and collaboration is the model that is being used in the community-based tourism in Tausan right now. But if you notice, it's actually a ladder. So when we started the project there, we started with consultation, no? Kanang sa ubos. And then as the months went by, nag-evolve ang community, nag-evolve ang levels of participation, at the same time, ang modes of participation sa community. So from being consultative, ang model niya nahimo pong collaborative. So that's why, if you notice, or for your information, after 1,000, we're actually doing, in fact, we've started already doing the community-based ecotourism for upland barangays in Danao, no? It's going to be a trail. It's going to be a walking trail, no, from, I'm not sure, but it will pass through 5 barangays in Danao, upland barangays. I think this is the same trail where they did the international trail run. Yes. Yeah. So, I think that's about it, no? And my take on this is that community-based tourism is actually, it's actually the trend now, especially after the pandemic when people sought ways of how to spend in the outdoors. And when you spend outdoors, it involves nature, where you can really interact with communities. So I think the city is really on the right track when it comes to the trends, no, in community-based tourism. Okay, so by the way, I'd like also to acknowledge Mr. Red, no, for attending the, of course, Miss Binky there, and Councilor Arya, sorry. Okay, so I think that's my presentation. It's all about, it's community-based tourism. Thank you very much. Og maayong hapon atong tanan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joselito Boboy Costas. Our final segment of the first ever Danao City Tourism Summit is with the theme, Tourism in the New Normal. To talk about capacitating communities and manpower for tourism resilience from Cebu Technological University, Danao City Campus, please welcome BSTM Core Faculty and Assistant Professor, Ms. Marie Chris Solamo.
Okay, so masidla akong kahaponon to all of us. So I will be the one to present the CTU Danao Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management highlights. And for this presentation, it is more on the ideas or strategies on how CTU Danao BSTM capacitate communities and manpower for tourism resilience. And before anything else, for those who do not know, CTU is a government institution, and it is a free tuition fee to all bachelor degree programs. And for the BSTM, it is actually part of the College of Management and Entrepreneurship. For our college, we have 3 programs. These are the Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management, Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management, and Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Marketing. But for this afternoon presentation, I will be solely focusing on the Tourism Management Program. And for the student organization, it's called TORCH, and the meaning of it is Tourism Organization Ultimate Right Movers for Change. Okay, so since I am only given 20 minutes to present, so these are my discussion flow. The first one is I will be discussing the overview of tourism resilience, followed by program overview, the CTU fourfold functions, and the BSTM highlights for this year, 2024. Okay, so I guess not all of the audience here are tourism-related professionals. So I will begin my presentation with a question, what is tourism resilience? So based on the studies of bachelor's R and DADS R in 2021. When we say tourism resilience, it refers to the ability of a tourism destination, community, or business to effectively prepare for, respond to, recover from, and adapt to crises or disruptions such as natural disasters, pandemic, political instability, or economic downturns. So CTU, as an institution, we are responsible for educating and training the future generations of tourism professionals about tourism resilience. Okay, so by understanding tourism resilience, the student should be equipped with right knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are needed for the industry and the community for them to be globally competent. Because CTU really ensures that the students are educated with the latest knowledge and trained with practical setting, and of course engage with community-focused activities and exposed to the real-world challenges. Okay, so these are the program overview. So in 2018, CTU Danao opened the BSTM program, and that time we only had 35 students for one section only, and myself with Dr. Ivy Batikan is part of the Pioneering 2019 in Manila. And also we expose our students to educational tours outside Cebu because we believe that this activity really bridged the gap between theory and practicality that really ensures that the learning process of our BSTM students are effective. But of course, when we talk about educational tours, we are compliant with all the CHED requirements. And next is during the pandemic is the educational institutions faces significant challenges wherein the shift of online learning platform really tested the resilience of the educators, the students, and the institutions. But the pandemic did not stop us. We embraced the change. We embraced the challenge. In fact, we opt to join virtual tour guiding competition. And despite of the challenges, when it comes to the mentorship, coaching, we still grab the special award titled Most Engaging Virtual Tour Guiding by Team Philippines in 2021. And aside from that, we also conducted community extension program such as the Glocal and the Community Pantry. And in 2022 to present, it is very visible that we still have continuous partnership and collaboration with LGU or City of Danao with other municipalities in terms of tourism-related projects and opportunities for our tourism students. Okay, so these are the fourfold functions of CTU, and this is namely instruction, research, extension, and production. And these are very essential of fulfilling CTU mission as an educational institution. Okay. So for the instruction, we really integrate service-related projects, especially to the students' major subjects, wherein the students work directly to the local communities or the businesses to help create tourism strategies. So for example, in their tour and travel management subject, they really help the tour operators and travel agencies in crafting the tour packages and itinerary planning, and also they promote local attractions that are less visited or less well-known. And second, linking students with local initiatives. So our students are proposing or creating tourism policies, and they will present it to the LGU tourism offices, not just in Danao, but in 5th District as well. And this is where students of City Danao has a lot of research projects that students are connected with community-based initiatives wherein they can use their knowledge and skills to contribute directly to the resilience of the tourism industry. Okay, next is research. So for our research, last 2022, we had our first collaboration with the University of San Carlos, CTU Maine, and CTU Danao that we proposed and conducted a research intended only for the city of Danao. And we are so thankful of Honorable Ivy Durano because she really helped us to gather or to distribute our questionnaires to the 400 respondents. And we are very proud to inform with you that our research has been accepted and published in Scopus. Okay, and then for the findings of this research, it is really contributed to the tourism resilience because the respondents are very much aware how tourism industry affect directly to their lives, most especially about the job opportunities, environmental and social-cultural developments. And for the extension, CTU grants and funding is very important as well to complete the necessary needs in implementing our community training to our selected respondents. And basically, one of our main partners in tourism extension program is the City of Danao, especially the Poblacion. And we are very thankful with them because they really provided us with the right venue for the convenience of our selected respondents in the youth of Danao, and sometimes they provided us snacks. So it is somehow a mutual agreement that should be stipulated in our MOA. And during the extension, our students is the one who facilitate the hands-on training sessions when it comes to the tour packaging, tour itinerary planning, and tour guiding to the selected youth of Poblacion Danao for 3 years already. And for our production, of course, building strategic alliances, it is very important for CTU to have a partnership and collaboration with other agencies in order for us to implement properly the innovative product developments. So for the on-site, we have a production area or office in CTU Danao wherein you can really purchase directly our innovative products. And if you are lucky enough, you will be able to witness as well the actual making of products that is made of healthy ingredients. And for the off-site, it is somehow that we are invited to showcase our research-based innovative products. Just like today on this side, so we have products from CTU Danao. So if you want to purchase, you can visit as well our booth. So this is an example as well of our collaboration with LGU, wherein CTU Danao create a magical twist of City of Danao delicacy. So when it comes to the kasahos and tinapa. So the highlights of BSTM is actually we are very proud that our students are industry ready, not just in Danao nor in Philippines, but in other countries. Because this year, we recently signed a MOA with establishments from Japan and Thailand that they will be accepting interns from our university. So CTU really ensures that our students are not just academically prepared, but adaptable and innovative. So this really makes the students to have a direct contribution when it comes to resilient community tourism and to become a proactive manpower of the tourism industry. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much, and mahayong hapon.
Thank you very much, Marie Chris Salamo. And now to talk about emergency response in tourism-related disasters, CDRRMO. Please welcome our final speaker for today's Tourism Summit, Department of Risk and Reduction Management Officer, Mr. Roland Reyes.
To our Honorable Mayor, Mayor Thomas Mark H. Durano, Vice Mayor Nito Durano, city officials, mga kaigsuunang Danawanon, mayong hapon natong tanan. So, since this morning, we've been talking about tourism in Danao. And I'm sure busy kayo ang inyong mga group chat karon saying, arats na, manuroy na ta sa Danao. But siguro, mananghid ta sa atong ginikanan, musuroy ko sa 1,000. The first question is, unsa man? Is it safe? Is it safe to visit tourist destinations, tourist sites in Danao? Mga kaigsunan, mayong hapon, my topic this morning is all about emergency preparedness and response, ensuring safety for visitors in Danao City. Even kamo apil mo as visitors in the city. So naigingon nga, what if? What if something would happen? So CDRMO Danao City, gitanaw na nato daan. We are really pangandaman na to in terms of influx of different tourists, even locals in the city of Danao. So my task this morning is to give you a glimpse of how prepared and how resilient our city is. Next, please. So Danao City as a tourist destination, no? So we offers a blend of natural beauty, cultural heritage, and adventure, making it an attractive destination for tourists. Am I right? No? Next, please. So Danao City's emergency preparedness for tourists is vital. Thank you. Not only for safeguarding lives, but also for maintaining a city's reputation, supporting the economy, and ensuring sustainable and responsible tourism practices. Next, please. Ibabaw kamay, palihog. So, next, please. Thank you. So, to give you a glance, no, unsa man ning mga activities in Danao. As I've said, balik ko na ko ha. So, unsa man atong mga gipangandaman. So, for our historical and cultural heritage, no, makita nato diha, one of the oldest church in Cebu, the Santo Tomas de Villanueva Parish. Of course, ang kahinaman na to, gipaabot na to, di Carranza Festival. Next, please. For adventure tourism, so daghan kayong mobisita sa atong Danasan Eco Adventure Park. So from time to time, we conduct trainings for their personnel, no, to ensure, no, nga safe ang atong mga guests. We also have, kanang gitawag na to, Danao is the biking capital of the North. Of course, with the recently conducted Danao City Grind Fest and the International Olga Trail and other adventure sports. Next, please. Our natural attractions, kinsa may nakasuroy na sa Canabog Falls. You can do rappelling there. Of course, the famous Mount Manghilao and the Licos Peak, and a lot more natural attractions in the city of Danao. Next, please. So, the pinakasikat karon, the Tausan Ginsay Mangrove Forest Park, no? So I'm sure daghan na gyud kayo nangutana unsa may paagi, no, nga makasuroy ta dito. Next, please. Our beach resorts, we have a lot of beach resorts. We have the Coco Palm, Samantas Beach, kanang sa Quaring, and of course the El Salvador Beach Resort. Next, please. For culinary experiences, no? Buato sila Danao for culinary experiences. Kinsa may gigutom diha sa Kasahos, our pinatapi, the queso or the quisio, and the famous tinapanan ni Itis. Next, please. So, another is the accessibility. Siyempre, Danao, dali rajud kayo adtuon. No? In just an hour and a half drive from Cebu City, making it easy, accessible to both local and international tourists. So it is a convenient escape from hustle and bustle of the city. Especially nowadays, sa mga batanon, mas ganahan ato sa bukid, ato mag-camping, no? So wala na kayo ganahan nga magsuroy-suroy o mga samok na lugar. Next, please. And the community, no? Sa pagkamaabi-abihon sa usa ka Danawanon, mo na gibalik-balikan sa atong mga turista, no? So proud kayo nga mo share sa atong mga heritage, no, and the culture with the visitors. Next, please. So as what have gi-explain kaganina, no, Danao City is an environmental and sustainable tourism initiatives na ganatang gihimo, no. An example of this is our 8,000 mangrove forest. Next, please. So with those tourist destinations in Danao, how do we prepare? So first, tanaw na to, unsa man jud ang profile, risk profile of Danao City. So this is the geohazard map of Danao, wherein you can see on the coastal side, we are anticipating, we are categorically moderate, low to moderate susceptible to flooding. So, kusog na ba kayo ang ulan karon? But good thing na anticipate na to ang rainy season. So, naka-mitigate na tadaan, nakahimo na tag-action, no? Thanks to our engineering department for always nga gilimpyuhan na itong mga drainage. So, earlier last night, no, doon ay mga LGUs in the province of Cebu nga naka-experience na yun og flooding. So, kanina sa green, those are moderate, susceptible to landslide. And of course, sa red, those are barangays na susceptible to, highly susceptible to landslide. Next, please. So Danao City has a total population on 2020 of 156,000. So it is considered as one of the environmentally constrained areas prone to some disasters and natural hazards risk. So among which are the rain-induced landslide. So humok ra jud mo landslide because of our soil classifications. Storm surges, kay duol ra man gyud atong mga residential areas. We have a lot also of beach resorts nga prone to storm surge, tsunami, liquefaction, flooding, and ground shaking hazards. So dinha ta, with that risk, dinha ta magsugod to prepare. Next, please. So those are hazards that may affect Danao. So it could be typhoon, earthquake, the ground shaking, and of course landslide. Next, please. So allow me to present to you the agency tasked to respond, to mitigate, no, and to prevent an upcoming disaster, no, due to the presence of some of the hazards. Next, please. So, the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council is headed by our Honorable Mayor as the chairman. Next, please. The Honorable Ramonito Durano III, our vice chairman for the council. Next, please. So, City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council is a consistent awardee of the Gawad Kalasag. So this is the highest award given to DRRM practitioners. Next, please. So we anchored our goal to the city's vision and mission statement. So DRRM goal is making Danao City a climate-smart locality with a safer, adaptive, and disaster-resilient community towards sustainable development. So gi-align gina nato with the city's vision and mission statement. Next, please. So, based on our mandate, in 1994, no? So ingon ani ang Durano legacy, no? Since 1994 gi-create na gyud ang Danao City Rescue Commission. So wala pa si Republic Act 10121 na natay emergency response sa City of Danao. That is the birth of Rescue 211. To give you a history ng anong nahimo ng Rescue 211, because during that day, ang Danao City telephone number is only 3-digit, and the 211 is the number of the mayor's office. So during that time, composed of PNP, the Bureau of Fire, and personnel from the City Health was organized to create a rescue team in Danao. So 1994 pa nag-start. So of course, the Republic Act 121 mandates all local government unit to establish LDRIMC and LDRIMO. In 2011, the Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office was created. And in 2019, through City Ordinance number 08-19, gi-upgrade siya into a department. The first LDRM office in the province of Cebu upgraded to a department. So makita na to, ingon na kabugat, ingon na ang paghatag og bili, particularly on emergency response ang local government unit of Danao. Next please. So with that department, the department was created, naghimo siya og upat ka division. The Operations and Warning Division, the Admin Training and Information Education Campaign Division, the Research and Planning Division, Climate Change Adaptation Division, and the latest is the Traffic Safety and Management Division. Those are the divisions under the office of the CDRMO. Next please. So we have services. Unsa may services nga gi-offer ni Rescue 211. So you have emergency medical services, search, rescue, and retrieval services, fire suppression services, monitoring information and communication services, or the MICS. Next, please. So to give you an update, no? So as of third quarter of 2024, so we were able to respond 3,586 emergency cases na sa Danao, no? From pre-hospital care, kanang pre-hospital care kanabang gikan sa incident ngadto sa nearest hospital. So dunay trauma, kaning mga vehicular accidents, medical, obstetrical or panganak, and the dialysis referrals. So for inter-hospital ambulance services, so from provincial hospital to Danao, we have 270, other facilities 602. As I've said, niabot na og 3,586 for the third quarter pa lang na of this year. So may imagine ninyo unsa no kadali nga makaresponde, even to the extent nga naglain ang lawas, no? So gustong mo antog hospital anytime, no? For our stranded passengers, mga tourists going to Camotes Island, we also provide services to them. Usahay, doon ay mingon nga, mura makong kahilanaton, sir, mura mag naglain ako lawas. We immediately provide assistance to them. Next, please. So to show you, these are some of our pictures for emergency medical services. So we have a portable medical tent to be deployed in case of a mass casualty incidents. So these are our personnel. It could be trauma or a medical, no? Especially during pandemic. Our search, rescue, and retrieval services. So bisag masaag pa mo, you go to Mount Manghila, masaag pa mo, we have team, no, to look into you, no? Ingunana ka safe our tourists when you go to Danao. Next, please. So capable also of vehicle extrications for road accidents. Next, please. our Wilderness and MOSAR Search and Rescue Unit. So CDMO also has a Mountain Search and Rescue Unit. No? Gitrain ni sila on rugged terrains in mountain. These are, they can also provide high-angle rescue. So katong mga wala, mga saag, what if mga wala, mga saag, you are still safe in Danao. So we have coordinated, a close coordination with the tourism office. In fact, appeal me sa group chat, every time there are tourists nga mo register, mo visit to Danao, so we are also aware. Next, please. So for water incidents, we have equipments and teams ready to respond on water search and rescue. We call that WASAR. Next, please. So for high-angle rescue, our rescue team is also trained on high-angle search and rescue. So dili lang ni siya si CDRIMO, no? We've also been collaborating with other national agencies like the PNP, the Philippine Coast Guard, the Bureau of Fire, and other agencies also like the Philippine Army. Next, please. So aside from the Bureau of Fire, we are safe in Danao. We have an LGU-owned fire trucks, no? So doon na jud say kaugalingon nga fire trucks. So at this time, we have 4 functional fire trucks ready to respond, no, to our mga facilities. Next, please. So these are pictures that our personnel from CDRIMO is capable of responding fire emergencies. Next, please. So every year, the Bureau of Fire conducts a competency training to our personnel to see to it nga sakto nga kamaog yun ang atong mga personnel to respond fire emergencies. So thanks to the Bureau of Fire Danao City Station for always there providing trainings for us. Next, please. So our monitoring information and communication system, and we call that Operations Center. So our Operations Center is the nerve, no, of all emergency response. So mutawag lang ka sa atong hotline, you need police assistance, you need medical assistance, you need search and rescue assistance. It's a 24-hour standby operation center. We monitor weather, we monitor the entire city through our CCTV monitoring. So in Cebu, we have the biggest, kita mo'y dunay pinakadako nga monitoring system for our CCTV. So makita nimo diri sa left, no, dako jud kay na siyang screen. Next, please. So our CCTV monitoring, so at present we have almost 180 cameras, no, all over the city of Danao monitoring each and every one, each visitors mga taga Danao, no, capable of detecting nasa plate detector in case dunay gi-alert, face detection for kanang mga wanted, simba ko na yung mga wanted masuroy, ihatag lang na ang picture nila ni PNP and automatically our camera could easily detect them nga naay nakitaan dihan dapita. So making it a very safe place, no, to visit Danao. Next, please. So aside from our central station, CDRIMO also make sure nga all the 42 barangays could easily be responded. Bisan mo bisita pa ka, maglingaw-lingaw ka dito sa Canabog Falls, na ay dali ra nga makarespond because we provided substations. So we have substation in Barangay Lawaan, we have Barangay Masaba substation, we have substation in Baliang, we have substation in Sabang, and coming na mo because of the 1,000, we have substation soon in Barangay Ginsay and in Barangay Kabubho. So maybe before mahumaning tuiga, ma-establish na to ang 2 new substations sa rescue. Next, please. So our city also is equipped with clearing equipments. So bisag unsa kadako ang makaali, because ang usa sa itong mga hazard is landslide man. So we prepare. So we have a standby heavy equipments that could easily respond in case dili maagian ang atong mga main road, especially those city roads leading to our tourist spots. Next, please. So we also cater special events. So daghan tag mga adventure race na atay mountain bike. We have ultra trail run. Also ng mga sporting events. CDMO Rescue 211 has personnel and equipments standby, no, ready to respond. We using state-of-the-art equipments. Next, please. So we also have our evacuation center. So it's a evacuation center / training center, no? So a lot of visitors coming from Camotes Island, going to Camotes Island, going to some tourist destinations, mas stranded because of bad weather or dunay bagyo, so dinhin nato na sila gidala, no? So free ang accommodation is an air-conditioned, no, nga evacuation center, complete with amenities, no, like kitchen, naasad siya shower, no? So in case lang doon natay mga stranded nga visitors from going to and from Danao. Next, please. So we also advocate volunteerism. So we have a lot of volunteers. We capacitate volunteers, especially our youth. Next, please. So if you know the Special Assistance on Fire and Rescue Incorporated or SAFARI, so CDMO fully supports our community volunteers. So it's a search and rescue volunteer of Danao. Next, please. So muna ilang mga activities, they help respond, no, all over the 42 barangays of Danao. Next, please. Next, please. So we also have the CER, or the Climate Emergency Responders. So especially our youth, no, niingon sila, Mother Earth kuno gihilantan because it's global warming. So nagkainit. So they are the responders, no? They are youth environmentalists, no, nga nag-advocate on the effect of climate change. Next, please. So they have activities, no? Yeah, like the environmental youth camp. Next, please. So kaduhan na ta nakakandak og youth camp, no? Advocating environment. Next, please. So, river cleanup drive. So, muna mga activities. So, I encourage youth to join, no? Kita itong ganahan. Next, please. The Earth Hour. Next, please. Tree planting in Barangay Masaba. Next, please. So, we also underwent a underwater cleanup and coral planting at Taytay Marine Sanctuary and Sabang Marine Sanctuary. So doon ay mga group of divers, no, na gi-invite sa atong local government unit to conduct underwater cleanup drive and also coral planting. Next, please. So our school DRR, so gipakos-hingos ga natong atong mga school DRR, we train youth, no? Gi-train natong mga kabatan-una. Next, please. Next, please. So, the recently conducted a community-based DRR barangay emergency response training. So, if you go to Danao, bisag asa nga barangay, you are safe because we have a barangay emergency response team, no? So, bago lang nag-conduct og rescue summit last July 29 to 31. So, gitudluan sila tanan from emergency medical response, search and rescue, and fire emergency. Next, please. So, ibabaw pagamay. So, dili